Jurassic Room. Hey guys, and welcome to Jurassic Room. Now, I know y'all been waiting a while for the reactions that we've been needing to do. I've been kind of off and on waiting for my family to be ready to react to everything because we wanted to do it all together. But we'll be doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow, which will be a week since Comic-Con and the Thor Ragnarok and Justice League trailer. But at least I'll finally get to see it. But tomorrow is also my mom's birthday, so I'm going to be cooking, making steaks or something like that. Something pretty good. But I want to talk about this. Okay, so it's Shark Week, and it's really almost over. So we know SyFi and their attempts to reinvigorate dead franchises that we would never see movies come out again. However, I kind of wish we never got what SyFi gave us. Anaconda, Lake Placid. Jeez. Well, now, with their shark, their shark films going up high, like Sharknado, which is getting a 5th movie, which I haven't even heard a lot about it until, like, a few days ago, so they haven't really gone out as far as this one from, like, the 4th one. Oh my gosh, it's called Sharknado 5, The Global Swarming. Now, I get it, wasn't it based off, like, a YouTube video? And, oh my gosh. You know, for the money they spend on all of these and cameos and all that, how is it that they cannot get better CGI for their movies? I mean, honestly, if they put, all the money they get from these little movies, they also got their shows too. Their shows always look pretty good though. I'm not watching their current ones though, like Wynonna Earp or Van Helsing, which, oh my gosh. I can almost like possibly Van Helsing if it wasn't, like post-apocalyptic. Dadgummit. I wanted either, you could have kept the female Van Helsing, but I would rather have, like, the grizzled old Van Helsing hunting werewolves and all of that in, like, the 18th century. Like, true Van Helsing. Or have a team or something like the 18th century. Like, something like that. A period piece would have been cool. Wynonna Earp is, like, the only other thing I've heard of. That looks weird. But anyway, not much has really impressed me in a while from SyFi. I used to like, they had Primeval New World show on there for a while, but anyway. So with their shark craze, with all their different movies, they're also doing a 5-headed shark attack movie. I think it's 5-headed from what I heard. 5-headed shark attack and Sharknado 5. They have decided to reinvigorate the Deep Blue Sea franchise. Now, say what you will about the movie. Some stuff may have been off. Like, I think people complain about Sam Jackson's death. I think it was okay for the movie. And the CGI, which I think during the time of like the late 90s, they were trying to like do something new with CGI, possibly working to make it cheaper or something like that. And that's how you end up with like The Rock and The Mummy 2, Deep Blue Sea, and Godzilla. But let's read this. This comes from, now I might check out other websites, but this comes from /film. Deep Blue Sea, sequel coming to the SyFi channel. Now, I actually love the movie. I actually saw it before I saw Jaws, and I used to love, I still love Deep Blue Sea for what it is. I love the movie. I think the premise of it was cool, and I think that, the shark robotics were amazing. I mean, those were some cool animatronic pieces. Like, I'll show you the picture here. That is awesome. The animatronic they used. Anyway, let's read this off. In 2009, we were deprived of a straight-to-DVD Deep Blue Sea with surgically enhanced sharks equipped with machine guns and torpedoes. It was a great loss, no question. Now a sequel to Rennie Harlin's 1999 Shark Attack semi-classic is happening, but it's not going to theaters or straight to DVD. It's coming to the SyFi channel. Unfortunately, where it's going to die. I mean, I used to watch sci-fi movies a lot as a kid. As a kid, I actually liked some of them. Like, some that are, like, just stuck in my head. Beneath Loch Ness was one. Komodo versus Cobra. Were some of the worst CGI ever, but for some reason I loved the crap out of that movie when I was a kid. I hated the other Anaconda movies. I only ever liked the first and second one. And I always hated the other Lake Placid movies. Don't get me started on Lake Placid versus Anaconda. How did they get Steve England to play in that? Jeez. But anyway, let's keep reading this. Movie Hole learned the sequel is shooting in Cape Town at the moment. Darren Scott of House Party and Tonight's the Night is directing Michael Beach, who's in next year's Aquaman in the sequel. While not as exciting as the concept of weaponized sharks, Deep Blue Sea 2 is about a character named Dr. Klaus Van Eaton, who experiments on bulldog sharks. What? Does he mean bull sharks? I've never heard of a bull shark. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up real quick. Okay, so other than bulldogs with shark fins on my back, I've read nothing of a bulldog shark. Only bull sharks. So let's keep reading. Despite protests from Misty and her gang of marine experts, huge surprise, the sharks get set free and wreak havoc, and really that's all the setup you need, right? Apparently. At least when the sharks escaped in the original movie, it was really entertaining. Thinking. And does this really feel like that other sci-fi movie, Mega Python, what was it, Mega Python versus Gatoroid? Because that animal activist took the snakes that were being scientifically worked on, released them to the swamps, and then you got the giant pythons, and then they went and did the whatever with the gators. Oh, I'm not talking about this. Don't. Danny Bonaducci's Bigfoot. Anyway. Well, okay. Don't expect any cameos from the cast members that survived the first movie. While the cancelled iteration of the Deep Blue Sea sequel was at Warner Bros., SyFi, who have done very well with their Sharknado movies, is producing the sequel. They did the same for the Lake Placid sequel a few years back, although we're still waiting on another sequel for that series. No more Lake Placid. No more. You know what I wanted out of a sequel of Lake Placid? Instead of showing us like the other little crocs, whatever happened to the first croc? You know, they killed its mate. What happened to the one they were literally driving on a truck in the sun to the zoo or whatever, I can't remember exactly. Whatever happened to that crocodile? Oh, I still can't get the scene out of my head where the croc just bit that one dude in the second movie and just started dragging him off. Like, that's exactly what a crocodile do. It wouldn't just basically bite him and flip its head back and swallow him like any other fish or bird. No, she's gonna drag him into her nest. Oh my gosh. I hate you, Sci-Fi Channel. You took two of my favorite original movies and you screwed with them. And made these abominations with your CGI that you put in movies like Ogre and Bigfoot and Sharknado. I kind of understand the craze of Sharknado though, because it's kind of like a fan thing. And I mean, I look at it like this. If I was the guy who came up with Sharknado and I posted on YouTube and people came to me like, hey, we want the rights and we want to make movies about this because it's basically so dumb and stupid that it's going to be fun. And I'd be like, heck yeah! I don't know. I think I'd have more respect for my stories and work, but there's not much you can do with sharks in tornadoes. But anyway. No other cast members have been announced at this moment, but Bloody Disgusting has a pic from the set confirming shooting is underway. Years ago, Jack Perez of Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, and of course we get to the Mega Shark movies, Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, Mega Shark vs. Giganotosaurus, which I think was unreleased, Mega Shark vs. Crocosaurus, Mega Shark vs. Colossus. I swear, if they throw something with Sharktopus in here, Why do I get an odd liking for Sharktopus, though? For some reason, I don't hate the Sharktopus movies as much. For some reason, I enjoy them. Ugh, what's wrong with me? That's Sharktopus, Sharktopus versus Pterodactyl, something like that, and then Sharktopus versus Whalewolf. Oh, Whalewolf was so stupid, but for some reason I actually like the design of the creature if it wasn't so campy in the CGI. Anyway, was going to direct the sequel. He said his sequel would have been influenced by Predator and Sergeant Rock. And here's, I guess, what he says. The script is about the scientific research ship that is seized by Somali pirates, of course, and a team of Navy SEALs had to go in and take them out. The whole ship is basically a gigantic floating laboratory with a maze of tunnels, and the sharks can travel through that open into tanks. My thinking was that this was Sergeant Rock's versus Sharks, so I developed this platoon kind of based on my Sergeant Rock characters to a certain degree. It was similar to what they did in Predator. There were definitely echoes of that sort of motley group. Man. Not how I would have handled, bringing back Deep Blue Sea, but whatever. Warner Bros. Canned the $5 million production after the DVD market took a nosedive. Warner Premiere also wasn't sure if pulling off the sequel for the money that was physically possible. That version of Deep Blue Sea came very close to happening 8 years later. We're now getting the Sci-Fi Channel sequel, which probably is not ideal for fans of Harlan's fun killer shark movie. So I guess that's it. I'm going to read one more thing, make sure I cover all my bases, and then I'm going to leave y'all alone to mourn my second favorite shark movie, only because there's no way that you can't put anything before Jaws, so you still gotta admit that picture's pretty awesome. That's on my DVD cover in there. I got the DVD of it in there. Man, I love Deep Blue Sea. I think my parents went to go see it in theaters for their I don't know. They said they got to go see it in theaters. That and Godzilla. Another thing is with Sci-Fi, I remember this. It's like one of my, it's a bad memory, but it's weird that Sci-Fi is involved with it. But small story. I remember I was watching Shark Attack 3 Megalodon. You know that scene when the jet ski goes into the mouth of the shark? I remember watching that when 9/11 took place. And I remember my mom freaking out and turning on the TV, and all you saw was the smoke in the building. And my little douchebag kitty self is like, turn it back to the shark movie, turn it back. My mom tells me, shut up, no! No, not quite like that, but along those lines. But anyways, it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there's not much else about it. My take is, I enjoy sci-fi movies to a certain extent, but frankly, and it says that they were going to make the sequel like 8 years ago, but it was going to go straight to DVD, kind of like what they did with Tremors Bloodlines, but Warner Bros. Canned it. Isn't Warner Bros. Doing Meg? Again, it's not, I think it is Warner Bros. Universal had the rights originally, and they were going to do it, but it never got off the ground. Now I think Warner Bros. Has the right to Meg, and Meg is like the next shark movie I'm looking forward to. I still got to see 47 Meters Down. That looked really good. I saw The Shallows. I got to do overdue review for that. That was a good movie. Cannot wait. Or I got to see 47 Meters Down. That looks awesome, especially with Shark Week going on. And Meg, that's not coming out till like August of next year, I think. So we got to keep an eye out for that. And I'll be doing videos on Meg in the future as well. And I'm also going to be doing a video soon on if we could be seeing a Steve Alton film universe. Say Vostok, The Lock, and Meg all getting their own movies and sequels into this kind of modern Lost world, like modern Lost Sea world, that Steve Alton created. not really much else. It's the premise of what he's saying. I don't fully agree with. I think there could have been something better done with it. I like the fact that they're doing it with bull sharks. I don't know what he means by bulldog sharks. I think he meant bull sharks because there's no such thing as a bulldog shark. If they're talking like literal crossbreeds between sharks and a bulldog, I'm boycotting this movie and this channel from now on. Holy crap. I mean, what were you smoking if you choose to do that? But anyway, I'll still probably watch it, you know, as long as it doesn't look too stupid. I'm probably going to, on Sunday night, I'm probably going to still watch Sharknado 5, only because I've seen the past 4 ones, and that one chick returned at the end of Sharknado 4, right? But anyways, what do you think of the sequel? What do you think for other hardcore fans like me of this movie? And do you hate Sci-Fi Channel as much as I do for what they have done to my childhood favorite movies? When I was a kid, I watched nothing but creature flicks, really, man. I didn't really do superheroes and all that, because mostly it wasn't around back then. I watched creature flicks all the time. You know, nowadays I watch the news and Discovery Channel and all that. Back then, I watched nothing but Monster Quest, Destination Truth, I think, and Dinosaur Gang, you know, some cartoons, and creature flicks that came on Sci-Fi. Mostly the older ones. Anaconda, Lake Placid, Deep Blue Sea, Jaws, Orca, which I got on DVD, and then, you know, the few other sci-fi movies that I was kind of liking as a kid. When I was a kid, I liked Pterodactyl and Komodo vs. Cobra. Look up those movies and see how horrible they are, but for some reason, as a kid, I liked those movies. It was pretty cool watching these crappily CGI'd giant 20-foot Komodo dragon go up against this like 30-foot long King Cobra. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, and stay tuned for the reactions coming tomorrow. We got It, Annabelle Creation, Inhumans, Ready Player One, Thor Ragnarok, Justice League. Am I missing anything else? I don't think so. Oh yeah, Hotel Transylvania 3, there's a new clip, and my family loves these movies a lot. I really liked the first one, thought it was funny. And no, I think Steven Spielberg, like, oh boy. Adam Sandler really took kind of a dump on the last one by making the animation so much goofier. Hopefully they take a step back. By Adam Sandler have to ruin Grown Ups 2. I actually really enjoyed Grown Ups 1. And I'm not going on about Adam Sandler right now. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. And let's hit the 400 subscriber mark.